Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Crocheters Creed, and today we are going to be making a Stormtrooper. So I'm sorry for the background noise. I have the air conditioning on and it's really late, so that's why the lighting is a bit weird, but we're going to be making the Stormtrooper. And since I ran out of black yarn, I'm going to be using my dark blue yarn. You can't really tell because it's really dark, but you'll be using, in place of this, it will be black yarn because the Stormtrooper is black and white, but I'm using blue. You will need some white yarn. You will need a 5mm hook, a 5.5mm hook, excuse me, a 4.5mm hook, scissors, a yarn needle, stitch markers, and if you choose, you can have your glue gun. I got a new one, as you can tell. So, and also you will need your pillow stuffing, but I'm not going to put the full bag on my desk, so let's get started. Okay, now you're going to take your white yarn and your 5mm hook, and you're going to make a magic circle. And make your magic circle, and you are going to single crochet 8 times into the magic circle, and you're making the leg portion. After you have put your 8 single crochet, you are going to slip stitch into the top stitch, and you are going to chain 1. I'm going to start adding my stitch marker because so my ends will line up. Add it in the one under it. And for rows 1, because I don't count the starting row as my thing, row 1 through 7, you are going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. Okay, after you are done, this is what it's going to look like. And you are going to add, after your 7th row, with your 5mm hook, you're going to add your blue yarn. So, leave a long tail, hold on, sorry, whoops, leave a long tail, about that long. Take it, pull it into the chain 1 after you did a slip stitch, and pull that down tight. Pull your blue yarn. Do we chain 1? No, and that's it. And then what you will do for rows 8 and 9, you are just going to single crochet in every stitch around for rows 8 and 9 with the blue yarn. Alright, now after you're done, this is what it's going to look like. I have to put in my ends. Yeah, pull that tight. But this is what it's going to look like afterwards. And you aren't going to yarn off, but make sure that you sew in your ends before we move on. Alrighty, now after you are done, you are going to yarn off, and you are going to chain 2, add your white yarn and chain 2, and for rows 1 through 5, you are going to single crochet around the entire pattern. Remember, when you get back to the beginning, add your stitch marker, because this point is your starting row. So after you are done, you will go into the 2 stitches, and don't worry about it being tiny here. As you go into them, it's going to start to build more and build a actual in-between part. So for rows 1 through 5, single crochet around the entire row. And remember to add your stitch marker at the end, rows 1 through 5. Those little legs. Okay, so when you're done with that, when you're done with your 5 rows, sorry, rows 1 through 5, when you're done with your 5 rows, you are going to do an increase. Let me make sure you can see this. Forgive my weird looking nail polish. You're going to do a decrease. So if you don't remember how to do a decrease, you go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull through 1, go into the next stitch, yarn over the 3 loops on your hook, go through, pull through all 3. And you're going to do a decrease in the beginning and the end stitch. But I'll crochet around and get to the last 2 stitches. Remember, a decrease takes up 2 stitches. And I'll show you what it looks like. I'll show you how to do the decrease when you get back to the end, just for those that want to see it instead of hearing it. Alright, now when you get to the end, like I said, you're going to do a decrease and make a slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker. Come on. And that is row 6. Now we want to stop here, and I want you to start stuffing your legs, because if you get too far up into the torso, because it's all sort of connected, it'll be harder to stuff in your stuffing. So start stuffing in your stuffing, and I'll be back to make the rest of the rows after you're done. Alright, so I sewed in my ends and I stuffed my legs. So this is what it looks like. It's cute. This is what it looks like so far. Now, after you are done, here's my yarn stuffer. When you get pillow yarn, this is not sponsored, I'm just showing you. It has like a tiny little stuffing tool, but it just looks like a chopstick. But anyway, that's what I used to put this into it. It comes with any bag of stuffing, I think. Well, at least the ones that I have here. So what I'm going to do, what you're going to do after you have decreased and stuffed your yarn, is for rows 7 and 8, you are going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. 7 and 8. Alright, now after you are done with row 7 and 8, we're moving on to row 9. And for row 9, like row 6, we are going to put a, we're going to put a decrease in the beginning and end stitches. Yarn over, pull through 1, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 3, then yarn over and pull through all 3. That's your decrease, and then, single crochet around the entire thing until you get back to the last 2 stitches, because a decrease takes up 2 stitches. Undo your decrease in the end and slip stitch. Alright, now after you are done, rows 10 and 11, you are going to single crochet in every stitch around for rows 10 through 11, and don't forget to chain 1. Alright, now after you are done with row 10 and 11, I'm going to get the rest of my yarn here. This is how it's going to go. And after this point, since your legs are stuffed in the inside, it's you don't have to worry about stuffing and making the rows, because you're just gonna, it's easier to stuff like this. So for row 12, let me take out my stitch marker so that I fix my table so it won't squeak. Okay, fix my stitch marker. And like I've done with rows 6 and 9, you're going to do a decrease in the beginning and end of the row. Beginning and end, and single crochet all around until you get back to the end. Decrease takes up 2 stitches. Decrease in the beginning and the end of the row for row 12. Alright, now after you are done with row 12, for row 13, what you're going to do is simply decrease, put a decrease in every stitch around. And like I said before, don't mistake this for the next stitch, go into the next stitch, because that's just part of your decrease. This isn't the next stitch, this is the next stitch. You're going to do a decrease all around, and after you've done that, you're going to yarn off with a long tail, and I'll meet you back to start with the arms. Alright, now for the arms, you are going to take your 4.5mm hook and your white yarn. You're going to make a magic circle. Going to make a magic circle. Make a magic circle, and you are going to put 8 single crochet into the magic circle. After you are done, for rows 1 through 5, you are going to single crochet in every stitch around. Okay, for row 6, you are going to add your blue yarn into your white yarn, and using the blue yarn for row 6, you are going to single crochet in every stitch around. Alright, now after row 6, you are going to add back on your white yarn, and for rows 7 through 9, you are going to single crochet in every stitch around. You're going to single crochet in every stitch around for rows 7 through 9. Okay, in the last 2 rows, you're going to add your blue yarn again. It's supposed to be black yarn for this one. Hold on. You're going to add your blue yarn, or black yarn, and you're going to single crochet for 3 more rows with the blue yarn. It's 2 rows. Okay, what you're going to do for the head is you are going to make a magic circle, and you are going to put 12 single crochet into the circle. After you are done with the starting round, you are going to put 1 single crochet into the first stitch and an increase in the next, then 1 single crochet in the first stitch and an increase in the next, and you're going to repeat that for the entire round. Okay, for row 2, you're going to chain 1, and in the next 2 stitches you are going to put 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch you are going to do an increase. After the increase, you're going to put 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. After the 2 stitches, you're going to do an increase, and that'll be the pattern for row 2. For row 3, you're going to chain 1, and in the next 3 stitches, you are going to put 1 single crochet into each one of them, and in the, so 3, 1, 2, 3, and in the next stitch, you are going to put an increase. And in the next 3 stitches after your increase, you are going to put 1 single crochet, and that'll be your pattern for row 3. 3 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and an increase. 3 single crochet in the next 3 stitches, and an increase. Alright, for row 4, you're going to put, in the next 4 stitches, you are going to do 3 single crochet, and after the 4 single crochet, you're going to do 4 single crochet in the next 4 stitches and an increase, and then the next 4 stitches you're going to do 4 single crochet and then an increase, and that will be your pattern for row 4. After you are done with row 4, for rows 4 through, 4 through 5 through 9, since this was row 4, you are going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. So rows 5 through 9, a single crochet in every stitch around. This is what it's going to, sorry about that. This is what it's going to start to look like after, this is what it's going to start to look like. Now for row 10, you're going to chain 1, and you are going to put a decrease in the beginning and the end of the beginning and the end of the row. Remember, a decrease takes up 2 spaces, so a decrease here and a decrease here. When you crocheted, put a single crochet in every stitch up into the last 2. For row 11, you are going to chain 1 and put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. For row 12, you are going to put 2 decreases. You're going to chain 1 and put 2 decreases in the beginning and the end of the stitch and single crochet in between. Alright, for row 13, you are going to put 3 decreases in the beginning and the end of the stitch and single crochet in between. For row 14, you are going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. For row 15, you are also going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. For row 16, you are going to single crochet in the next 6 stitches. That's 1 with the white yarn, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now after that, you're going to add on your blue yarn. Well, blue yarn in my case, but it's supposed to be black. Add on your blue yarn. And in the next 9 stitches, with the next 9 stitches with the blue yarn, you are going to put a single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And after that, you are going to take off your white yarn, and you are going to add on your white yarn again. You're going to add on your white yarn again and single crochet in the remaining stitches. For row 17, you are going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around. For row 18, you are going to put a decrease in every stitch around. After you have finished rows, row 17, row 18, you are going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch around and yarn off. Okay, now I have the body and I have the head. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add both of my arms. I already stuffed my arms and I stuffed my head and yarned off. And I'm going to add them all together. And then I'm going to come back and show you how to make the side portions and the eyes.